Our esteemed dignitaries, respected professors and participants, it is with utmost privilege that I, Aishwarya Vatkar, along with my co-host Janvi Taude, on behalf of the entire IIM fraternity, welcome each one of you to the Zero Mile Samvad.
We are honored to welcome Mr. Vipul Shah, a cinematic maestro who has woven unforgettable stories on the silver screen. Mr. Vipul Shah embarked on his career in the entertainment industry with the soap opera Ek Mahal Ho Sapno Ka, achieving remarkable success as it became the longest-running family drama spanning over 1,000 episodes on Sony Entertainment Television.
He is also the founder and promoter of Sunshine Pictures Private Limited. With an illustrious career in Bollywood and Gujarati cinema, he is the creative force behind cinematic gems such as The Kerala Story, Aankhein, Waqt, and Singh is King. A director, producer, and visionary, he has left an indelible mark on the industry. Today, we will be discussing on reshaping of the entertainment industry through AI and its economic impact.
The session will be moderated by Mr. Siddharth Zarabi, Managing Editor, Business Today Television. We would now like to request Mr. Siddharth to kindly take over the interview. I request both the dignitaries to please kindly take a seat at the dais.
Thank you very much. Very warm welcome once again. I know it's a difficult sort of task to pull back the audience who went with Chief of Army Staff, General Pandey, and obviously that also tells you something. But Vipul Amritlal Shah is an unusual filmmaker. I don't know how many of you have watched how many of his movies, but I'm sure, is there anyone who has not watched a movie that Vipulji has been involved with? Can someone raise that hand? I promise I won't make a joke out of it. Haath khada kariye. Has anyone not watched a movie that he has been connected with? Okay, so that I think is a good way to start. Somebody was telling me that, and by the way, full disclosure, I am from Kashmir, from Srinagar. My ancestral home used to be between the 3rd and the 4th bridge of Srinagar city. So, what is happening in this country, Vipulji, that एक picture Kashmir files बनती है, एक Kerala files बनती है. दो extreme कोने हैं हमारे महान देश के, और जो films बनती हैं वो एक दर्दनाक हकीकत, very grim reality, very sad reality they bring out, and yet you see this division. There are still people who will question those facts and that reality. Why do you think, as a filmmaker, this is happening in a country as large as India?
Thank you very much, everybody, for having me here, all the dignitaries sitting here. Siddharth ji, thank you. First and foremost, I think एक मिक्स रिएक्शन इसलिए आता है क्योंकि इग्नोरेंस बहुत है. बहुत सारे लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि ये हो रहा है. सो व्हेन यू टेल देम समथिंग व्हिच इज अ अनकंफर्टेबल ट्रूथ इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डील विथ. यू नो इट. लोगों को लगता है अरे ऐसा मेरे देश में ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है. व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग. ये मेरा देश है. मेरे देश में इट्स लाइक अगर मैं कहूँ कि मेरे फैमिली में, अगर मैं किसी के फैमिली में अगर हम किसी के भाई या बहन या पिताजी के बारे में बात करें तो दे विल से नहीं, माय फादर कांट बी लाइक दिस. इट्स वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. दैट इज वन जेन्युइन डिनायल दैट पीपल हैव, दैट इज ड्यू टू इग्नोरेंस. एंड द सेकेंड थिंग इज, आप जिनकी बुराइयों को एक्सपोज कर रहे हो, दे आर गोइंग टू टारगेट यू. They are not going to let you go. They will go after you. They will try their best to discredit you. They will try to say that your film is a propaganda, your film is a lie. They will pose all kind of theories and questions. ये एक common बात है. ये होता है और पर मुझे इसमें एक अच्छी बात दिखती है. अच्छी बात मुझे ये दिखती है, the good thing that I find in this is that because of this divide, there is a lot of debate. And debate actually reaches out to more and more people, they get more informed, and then they do their own research. And they find out about the issue. Today, maybe more people are aware about what's happening in Kerala, or across the country for that matter. Even today, after 7 months of the release of the film, recently one group of women came to my office with a box of sweets. They said, हम छोटे गांव से आए हैं, थाना के आगे से, and आपकी फिल्म की वजह से हमारे गांव में बहुत सारे लोगों की जिंदगी बदल गई. And as we speak, we are invited from a group of 1,000 ladies from Ratnagiri, and they want to interact with us because they said that it was so rampant over here, the manipulative conversions, but nothing was being discussed, talked, no action was being taken. Your film has at least saved lives of 5,000 girls. So they want us to go there. So at least I am happy. आप हमें, you can shoot the messenger, you can say हम propaganda है, whatever you want to say. But that film created that debate because of the attack that happened on us. The threats that we got, people suddenly got interested. So I think that is the good outcome, and I am a very optimistic guy, so I always look at the positive side of the outcome rather than saying, अरे उसने मुझे ऐसा कहा है, or he labeled me like this and he labeled me like that. That doesn't matter really.
Well, that doesn't matter, and that's a good point. Making movies and Bollywood, the earlier formula would be a hit film has a certain kind of star cast, certain kind of music, and obviously a filmography that appeals to the masses. I want to ask you, what motivated you to make Kerala Files? Because your earlier body of work is, I would say, in the popular Bollywood genre and not these stark, realistic movies that touch upon very important issues that are contemporary issues for society. What motivated you? Was it a commercial consideration or an emotional consideration?
There are two aspects to what you asked. So one aspect is why I chose Kerala Story. The day my director came to me with one pager of that script and he narrated me that story, and my first question was, show me your research, because I want to be sure that this is all true. If what you are saying is true, then I will make this film come what may. So for me, it was more like a duty towards my own nation and duty towards our society to make that film. The other thing is that when I was making my commercial films, I have always worked with newcomers. So even if the original formula in Hindi film industry was that you need to have big stars, see, in my first film, Aankhein, Arjun Rampal was a newcomer. There was Mr. Bachchan and Akshay and Sushmita, Paresh Rawal, but Arjun was a newcomer and he was given a platform to compete with all these amazing stars. When I started Waqt, my second film, Priyanka Chopra was a newcomer. She had just done one film, which was Anil Sharma's film, The Hero, where she had 3 minutes role. She had not done a major heroine. Of course, her another film, Andaz, released before Waqt, but when we signed her, she had not signed that film. Everybody knows that Namaste London was a defining point for Katrina's career. After that, I have launched Aditya Roy Kapoor, I have launched Vidyut Jamwal, and in all my films, there are a number of technicians, music directors. So I have always believed in working with new people because the energy and the spirit that newcomers get is absolutely extraordinary. Their desire to do the best is so high that it really ignites the passion on the set. So I have always believed in working with newcomers, and combination, if you can do it with some one star, it's great. So that's what I did over my entire career and whatever films I have made. So that has been my way of looking at cinema.
Since you spoke about new stars, I want to ask you a question about old star. Will you ever work with Akshay Kumar again?
Of course, I will want to work with Akshay. We've shared a great relationship. We made Aankhein, Waqt, Namaste London, Singh is King, Holiday, Action Replay. So we've had a great success together. We worked and we were able to present him in avatars which were never seen before in his such a long career. So it's been wonderful. But for some time now, we've not been able to agree to one script which we both equally want to make. And we are constantly trying to find that script. So it's not that we're not in touch or I'm not trying. But sometimes it happens. You know, everybody's career has its own path. Your path needs to cross at a particular point for you to make that film together. So I'm hoping that very soon I'll have a script which he will find absolutely amazing and we'll be working together. In fact, I must say here that when Kerala Stories first teaser released, I dropped the teaser in 30 seconds. I got a call from Akshay and he said, "What an amazing teaser, Vipul, this is going to be a blockbuster. And तूने मुझे इस पिक्चर में क्यों कास्ट नहीं किया? Why didn't you call me for this film?" I said, "कौन सा लड़की का रोल आपसे थोड़ी करवा सकता हूँ." So he said कि मैं विलन कर रहा था. I said, "Sir, you know you are such a big hero और मैं आपको विलन भी बना सकता हूँ, लेकिन इतना inhuman character लोग accept नहीं करेंगे if you play, because you are a very big hero for them. So I can't have you in Kerala Story." But he said, "Anything like this, if you find for me, just bring it."
Well, that is certainly news because आप जो कह रहे हैं इसका मतलब ये है कि वक्त बदला नहीं है आपका अक्षय जी के साथ और कहीं भी ना कभी आंखें फिर से मिलेंगी. फिल्म के सेट पे
हॉलीडे पे भी साथ में जाएंगे और सिंह इज किंग को लेके जाएंगे.
सिंह इज किंग को वापस लेके आएंगे. One of the issues, and again this is the commentary that happened after Kerala Files, because the audience will agree, our viewers will agree that Kashmir Files, Kerala Files was a certain newer kind of genre of storytelling. It's been said in the West, there have been stories about what happened to the Jews in Israel, and they're very powerful, evocative stories about the Nazi killings. How would you respond to those people who have called you Islamophobic? Some people have said you are anti-Muslim, and they use the controversy around the numbers of girls who were supposedly impacted, 35,000 versus 3 or 5. What would you say to that?
So there are two things that you asked here. One is that, am I a Islamophobic? To that, I'll just say one thing. I'd made a film called Namaste London, जिसमें एक मुस्लिम लड़के की कहानी थी, पाकिस्तान के मुस्लिम लड़के की. वो अपने माँ बाप से अलग होने वाला है. He's going to separate from his parents and convert to Christianity because the girlfriend wants him to. And he comes back to his own religion, and the father and son unite again. And at that time, I was called a anti-Hindu guy. That is what I was called at that time. मेरी पहली फिल्म में जो सबसे पॉपुलर कैरेक्टर था, परेश रावल जो प्ले कर रहे थे, द ब्लाइंड बैगर, दैट वाज इलियास. तो अब मैंने जावेद अख्तर साहब के साथ बहुत काम किया है, वर्क विद सलमान खान, अनु मलिक एंड न्यूमरस मुस्लिम guys. But just because you go and show that one group of people in Kerala is doing something wrong, इसलिए मैं Islamophobic हूँ, is the part of the same plot to discredit the film, discredit the maker, and let that narrative not go in the country. Let people say ये फिल्म ही झूठी है, तो हमें, we don't want to find out about this subject. We don't want to find out if manipulative conversions are happening. You know, at that point of time, you have two choices. You can either go back and argue, or you can say, I want my audience of my country to see this film. That's what we did. And that's why I have never responded to any of such slurs. Because they are, in my mind, they are targeted for a certain purpose. They are not genuine belief. Nobody, I mean, people who know me, anybody who knows me will vouch for it that I am not against any religion. Or neither was Kerala Story against any religion. It was against a particular group. I have said this many times. Sholay mein Gabbar Singh was the villain. So all Singh should stand up and say कि रमेश सिप्पी हमारे खिलाफ है. ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता. And if you remember, when Rohit Shetty made सूर्यवंशी, उसमें एक मुस्लिम टेररिस्ट है जैकी श्रॉफ प्ले कर रहे हैं. And there was objection against that film कि वो मुस्लिम क्यों दिखाया है, आप उसको निकाल दो. तो क्या रोहित शेट्टी भी इस्लामोफोबिक है? So this kind of simplified argument for a film which is so complex and which is dealing with such a massive issue of our society is childish in my mind. Now coming to the number of 32,000. So हमने एक वीडियो बनाया है. We made a video which is available on YouTube and everybody here must go and watch that video. Let people know that this is the number and this is how it comes. Because it is so important for people to know that this story is true. The number is true. Then they will take this film very, very seriously. I have personally reached out to at least 15 to 20 news channel editors who had done 12 days non-stop programs on Kerala Story, pre-release, after release, but they did not want to do this story. Because इसमें मसाला नहीं है, इसमें gossip नहीं है, इसमें sensation नहीं है. So, but the video is still available, so anybody who wants to question us on 32,000 can happily go and check it and question us after that. There'll be no question left. That is the point. And I think it was a big loss of our nation or our society, because if that video would have reached to many, many people, then the seriousness of this issue would have been felt so deeply and some action would have immediately been taken. Something would have started. We have a very short memory. We see a film, we'll talk about it for 1 week, we'll talk about it on social media, in our friend circle, and we move on. So I felt sad about that part, that this video should have been seen by many, many people.
I want to turn to the issue of the business of Bollywood, the business of movie making, because it's also important to be commercially successful. Deep research and great cinema requires lots of money. No one has to tell you this. And our Bollywood also has evolved as a industry. Kerala Files has been reasonably commercially successful. What do you think is the most critical issue filmmakers, producers, directors face today when it comes to the bottom line, when it comes to returning money to all those who have backed the project and also have money to reinvest in the future?
So you said Kerala Story was a reasonably successful film. I just want to correct it and say that it is the highest grossing film in the history of cinema where the lead is a female. The female-centric films it is the highest grossing film in the history of Indian
305
cinema.
crore plus, or
Yes.
is it more now?
300 crore plus in India.
Okay.
But we never spoke about the number because we were talking about number of people watching the film. We didn't go down the Bollywood route of publishing a poster about how big the numbers were. But yeah, this is the level of success the film achieved. It is in terms of investment versus earning, it is the highest earning film in that ratio. Much higher than Jawan, Pathan, Gadar, any film. Which means that the money that you invest in multiplier how much you made.
But did you expect it to achieve this kind of commercial success?
Honestly, we had only one thought in our mind, that we want this subject to reach out to the entire nation. And how do we do it? We were very sure that the film will connect. But to this extent, numbers, we were not too sure. To be very honest, I'll be lying if I said, "Arey, mujhe sab pata tha." Nahi, hame nahi pata tha. We were expecting it to do well. To turn into a blockbuster of this size, no. Coming to the second part of your question about the business of cinema. The biggest challenge in India today, and all the youngsters here should know about this because everybody compares, why can't we make films like Hollywood? Why Hollywood cinema is so much better than Indian cinema? The reason is, when a Hollywood film releases, it releases in more than 25,000 cinema halls in the US alone. And the ticket price is, in Indian context, 1,000 plus. In India, we release a film on 5,000 screen with an average ticket price of around 200, 220, 240. I have made many requests to my producers guild and to various forums. India needs to have an exhibition center, which is multiplexes, theaters, in excess of 50,000. The day we achieve, this is what China did. China was a very poor cinema market. They built more than 40,000 cinema halls, and today they are the biggest ticket selling country in the world. They overtook America. And American films are doing unbelievably big numbers, 500 million, 300 million, 400 million only in China. But we don't have the exhibition of that level. The day we have 50,000 cinema halls to show the film, we will be doing $1 billion or above. Easily, say Jawan. Jawan would be in that market a more than $1 billion film. That is how it is. So cinema is directly associated with your capacity to collect the money. And we don't have that capacity anywhere close to what it should be.
What will the impact of OTT be? Because clearly the issue of costs in a country like India for setting up multi or single screen is substantial. And you yourself were not on OTT, but you've recently sort of moved towards that. So will OTT help achieve what you are saying, or is it a different paradigm?
No, OTT is a different revenue stream, and every film, like in Hollywood, what happens is that film is given to OTT compulsorily only after 6 months. In India, we are in a hurry. 8 weeks, 6 weeks, we want to put our film out.
So you think that is wrong?
Absolutely wrong, because the moment you do that, a small film, nobody wants to go and see in theater. Sitting here, audience, they will say, if there is Jawan, Pathan, Donkey, Animal, will go to theater. But if there is a small film, say Khichdi 2, then I'll see it on OTT. मैं इसके लिए पैसा नहीं खर्चा करूँगा. That is because they know that within 6 weeks the film will be available. Maximum 8 weeks it will be available on OTT. And that is
घर पे देखेंगे,
हाँ,
Netflix
घर पे बैठ के देख लेंगे, इसके लिए पैसे नहीं खर्चा करना है. पैसे हम बड़े बजट की फिल्मों को थिएटर में जाके देखेंगे. छोटी फिल्में जो हैं वो हम घर पे बैठ के देखेंगे. And that is going to be very, very disadvantageous. But I'm sure people will realize it. But otherwise, OTT is an additional revenue stream. It will not damage the theatrical business of the films. Theatrical business will keep growing up with more and more cinema halls coming in, and our films reaching out in many more countries as we are now doing. With 78, 80 countries we release our films. So slowly we will increase our theatrical revenue stream, and then OTT will be a great second revenue stream for the film.
Okay, last couple of questions as time runs out, and this is to talk about one aspect of the industry which very few people pay attention to, and this is the writers. The question is about the impact of artificial intelligence. It's already become an issue in the United States where complete scripts are being generated via artificial intelligence. Is this a danger in the Indian context also, and have you yourself been grappling with it?
Artificial intelligence is a very big ghost and we don't know how to deal with it yet. Nobody knows. We've seen what happened with deepfake, with Rashmika Mandana and Katrina Kaif's videos and all of that. So artificial intelligence is a very, very dangerous weapon if misused. As far as writing of the script is concerned, I have not yet attempted using AI for any script. But I don't know what will be the outcome with AI written scripts. I mean, then is it going to become a formatted cinema and it will lose its kinetic, organic feel and it will all be very, very structured? Or artificial intelligence will actually be able to write a script which will have all these elements. And if that happens, then people will turn to it. Some of them for sure will. So I don't know how that will play out, and I think there is a need for it to be regulated for at least for now. Let's understand first what are the possibilities of AI and how they can be misused. Once we understand it in totality, I think then we can use it for the betterment of cinema and betterment of life in general. But it's a double-edged sword as we speak. That's what I feel.
My colleague Franklin Nigam has sent me a question, and he tells me that you are working on a movie on the lines of Aankhein, and that your plan is to get your better half, Shefali Shah ji, a very famous actor herself, to star in the movie. सवाल ये है कि अपनी धर्मपत्नी के साथ काम करना मूवी में कितना आसान या कितना मुश्किल होगा आपके लिए?
क्या होता है कि मैं उनसे उम्मीद कर सकता हूं कि सेट पे आप घर वाला बिहेव मत करना और सेट पे आप एक्टर होने की एक्टिंग कर लेना और डायरेक्टर की बात मान लेना. घर पे जो होता है वो चलने देना. घर आपका है, सेट मेरा है. If we can work on that divide, that's fine. But I've worked with her in the past. We worked in Waqt, and there was another film which I produced called Kuch Love Jaisa with her. Yeah, so I have been wanting to make another robbery film after Aankhein. And after a long time, I think I've cracked a subject which is unique and very, very exciting as a robbery film. Nothing to do with Aankhein, it's a very different script. Where the bank robbery bank robbery as an idea always has excited me. And when I was making Aankhein, there were bets being taken in the industry ke ek pagal aadmi aaya hai TV or theater se, he's making a film which cannot run. He's making Amitabh Bachchan the villain, he's getting Akshay Kumar and all the heroes to be blind. Akshay Kumar doesn't have a heroine. And he's making a film on 3 blind guys going inside a bank and robbing it. This plot cannot survive in Hindi cinema. It will be a biggest flop.
विपुल जी, मुझे लगा कि for a moment I thought, क्योंकि मैं बिजनेस जर्नलिस्ट हूं, कि आप ये जो बैंक एनपीएस में और देश से कई घोटालेबाज भाग गए, कहीं उन पे तो नहीं पिक्चर बन रही है, बट शायद दिशा कहीं और जा रही है.
नहीं, उन पे बनाने में दिक्कत ये आएगी कि एक्चुअली क्या क्या हुआ है वो हमें कभी पता नहीं चलेगा. तो वो फिल्म में सच्चाई की कमी होगी. बट सो आंखें जब बन रही थी तो ये शर्तें लग रही थी
But
now that I'm
अगर
making
वैसी पिक्चर आप बनाते तो फोन बैंकिंग दिखाना आसान रहता, बहुत लोगों को प्रैक्टिस है.
हाँ, फोन बैंकिंग से आप दिखा सकते हैं, लेकिन फिर वही सवाल उठता कि ये प्रोपोगेंडा फिल्म है, ये एजेंडा फिल्म है, ये झूठी फिल्म है, एंड हम फला फला पार्टी के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, वो वाले आक्षेप फिर लगना शुरू हो जाते. बट या, कमिंग बैक टू द रॉबरी, इट्स एन एक्साइटिंग आइडिया, एंड यस, आई वांट शेफाली टू प्ले द लीड कैरेक्टर इन दैट.
And by when is the movie likely to hit theaters?
Actually, as we speak, I was supposed to shoot this film this year, but then I started on another film called Bastar, the Naxal story. That deals with the Naxal issue of Bastar and the whole Red Corridor, जहाँ पे Naxalite का issue बहुत बड़ा है, and it's a very, very sensitive and very, very bold subject. And our approach is going to be as bold as we were in Kerala story, or maybe even a little more bolder. Again, we are dealing with some amazing true stories of Bastar, which are part of this film. So this film is going to, we've just completed our Bombay schedule yesterday night, and now we are going to finish shooting in next 4-5 days. And then, yeah, I mean, then we'll get on with the release. So after this, I will be starting this robbery film called Hisab as we speak.
हिसाब, and उसकी भी किताब हम देखेंगे और थिएटर्स में देखेंगे. विपुल शाह, wonderful talking to you, and I wish you all the very best for provoking, as you said at the very start, a debate that is an informed debate, a debate that is not misinformed through WhatsApp, and where all the people of this country have the capacity to listen to, view and hear hard, difficult subjects, and not just the goody things that sometimes filmmaking tells us. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much for your time with us today. And I would say for an event called Zero Mile Samvad, I think this Samvad with him has been fascinating. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude for sharing your invaluable insights and enriching our event with your presence. Your perspective on cinema and beyond will truly resonate with us beyond the session as well. We are truly honored to have you grace this platform. Thank you for your time and the inspiration you've brought to the audience today. We would like Mr. Zarabi to please present Sir with a bouquet and a memento.
So, a tree has been planted on the periphery of Simlipal National Park, Odisha, in your name. The certificate is now displayed on the screen and will be emailed to you shortly.
I request everybody to please remain seated because we are in for a small surprise.
Before we proceed to the closing ceremony, we have Parinita from the first year and Swapnil from the second year who's going to have a singing performance here. So I request all the audience to be seated.